you know, and execute at the A-bomb site. It's relatively safe to just walk over there and throw the smokes.
It's worth noting it is actually GODSENT's choice of map as well. So
they knife for sides, right?
Yeah,
they do.
Okay.
So losing 2 knife rounds, need to practice those, surely.
Yeah, it's not too fun to start off against FaZe CT, especially if they win the pistol, which they've shown every well, it looks convincing. Let's put it that way. It looks convincing when they play pistols so far.
That Inferno CT pistol was nuts. That was just wild.
It was very potent.
Seems that GODSENT are giving FaZe an opportunity to overextend. Trying to catch somebody out of position, perhaps. Double peek towards balcony, but no one's there.
If they end up hitting B, they have such a huge defensive presence here. 2 players at the site, 1 on catwalk who will be equipped to take one flank quickly from mid. Oh, and that's beautiful. Guardian, that action forces Freddy into a peek to try and punish Guardian as he falls away, and Olaf with just a 1-tap. Now look towards A, though. A's been taken over by the terrorist side. Not sure it matters.
Well, definitely doesn't matter if they can't recover the bomb. Olafmeister sitting on that.
Oh my god.
And another incredibly convincing pistol.
Round number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Round number 1. That is a very confident Olafmeister. Oh boy. It's really good to see him back at this level as well.
6 bullets, 3 kills.
That is nasty stuff. Well then, GODSENT get the, FaZe get the start that they were looking for. GODSENT just played into the hands. They tried to play it slow and get FaZe to play into their hands, but they were definitely in the mouth of the lion.
I think you have to open up this half and play the trade game if you're GODSENT. I think you need to get something going in your favor. I don't think you're going to want to start the T side spreading out and just trying to find your fights, trying to find your duels, even when you have AKs. I think you play the trade game early on, you try and, you know, punish the economy of FaZe and get them on weaker buys and less utility, and then you can spread out if you really want to go back to that. But I think you not only have to take something away in FaZe in terms of their economy, but you also have to get some confidence going in your players, because after Inferno you have none.
I guess that's a fair assessment. Yeah, I definitely agree. That's one of the reasons why I like Fnatic's style, because they're quite scrappy, and against basically anyone, it can just make the situation a little bit weird. And you get to these sort of mid-round spots where it's a 4v3 or a 3v3 or something like that, and it's suddenly very favorable for you on the T side as well. So,
on the other hand, GODSENT this round is just like sitting around and waiting for someone from FaZe to peek, and they've gotten 2 kills that way in window. So now this is all down to timing with Nico. Which way does he check? Is he going to check window when they boost up, when Disco eventually just jump? And I think he just saw the pistol there. There it is. Timing works out for Nico.
That's beautiful, and just like that, a 4v3 into a 3v0. Rain with 2 on A as well, and again sort of just catching GODSENT before they could pull the trigger on their play. Obviously GODSENT was setting up somewhat of a split there, and the timing, as you mentioned, was perfect from Nico. Yeah,
the idea is obviously have some pressure towards the A bomb site, and then Disco kind of chooses his moment to jump up into window and take out Nico, because Nico, if there's pressure on A, he's the one that turns around to help Rain out. He's also the one to watch top connector, considering where Rain was. So once his attention is distracted, that's when Disco can make his play. It just kind of gets negated by the timing of that peak.
Nico around for GODSENT. And maybe this one will be more brief than the force buy in the last round. So swiftly we are into the buy round. But again, it's not really a good start for GODSENT. They have very limited utility. They do have smokes, which will allow them to get position around mid if they choose it, around A if they choose to execute there. They can put smokes in towards connector a bit later on and take the initial map control, and that's just not a good start, is it?
Oh,
I have literally never seen that happen before.
Yeah, you hate to see it. It just looks so derpy, doesn't it? Oh no! That's just killed me.
Oh, it's not a thing. There we go, number 3.
Number 3 smokes used for 1 successful window smoke.
Oh,
and that's all the utility.
The struggle. All aboard the struggle bus.
There's that fight. I can't get over it.
Oh man, it's difficult to see past it.
I did wonder about the force buy as well because,
Hello.
I mean, it was a question of damage, but
There we go.
I mean, it's more an issue on the CT side, but I just didn't expect it to have much of a plan going into that, and they handicapped themselves so much on their own buy round, and that's before they messed up all the smokes.
Again, this goes back into like yesterday we had a lot of like theory talk early on. The same thing is for force buys. I think the more people you talk to from like you know, the 1.6 era, like myself, I know Lurpus, I know Henry, I mean he's from Source, but a lot of people, I think there's a certain amount of theory that goes into saying like why is everyone still just force buying by default on second rounds when you can, especially like in the first half, because you're not like out of it just yet, right? You're not so far behind in rounds you need a big win. You can choose to save that round and have a really solid fourth round buy. And actually we've seen teams kind of start to do that where they invest in the pistols but they don't get the armor, and even that gives them extra nades.
Yeah. Meister just shoulder peeking around a chair position. Some info there. One of the middling players is here, so Doppelland was in a common position, which has a few blind spots for CTs. They'll often stand in positions where they won't see somebody there. But again, nothing doing. GODSENT just trying to be as sneaky as possible to get any mileage out of this, but as you can see, it's not the most ideal situation for them. Close. I do wonder if that will lead the remaining T's over there because of the damage done, but no, it seems Schneider will go towards the middle area instead. It's another slow eco round, but we're past it now. Maximum loss bonus is where GODSENT are at the moment, so they'll definitely have more grenades, and again, Twist will be the sniper on the T side.
That'll at least help out, especially if they miss a smoke. But they can actually, you know, put this op in places. They can make it work. So he's going to go towards mid. Is he just going to go for the peak? This is, ooh, there's the flash from the side of FaZe, and shots exchanged, but no damage.
Lots of sound cues for Rain, and those are two very easy kills for him. Still got bullets for the third as well. Pretty beat into re-peek. His head is just about showing, and he's been forced away. He has the bomb as well, so what a good situation. Twist. Shadow is showing, but he'll land the kill regardless. Got to be really careful with this peek. I like to take that peek at the beginning of a round.
I think FaZe should know where both players are at this point. Yeah, Guardian's just waiting for that. No more utility as well. I mean, GODSENT tries to play the trading game there with just contact through the smoke, and Rain close up just completely negates it. That's a bit rough. That's harsh. 6-0. Quick 6-0.
Very quick indeed, and that's half by territory for GODSENT again. So many sound cues. I mean, there's a minute 40 on the clock.
Yeah.
And they're just jumping around behind the smoke there. I don't know why.
I mean, that just goes to they're trying to find that timing, right? Where if there's going to be mid control from FaZe, there's 2 to 3 people at mid, and maybe just like one opper at ticket booth that they can. He misses a shot, and then they kind of have some ground to gain. Obviously, it doesn't work.
Some early potential. Nice bursts from Rain, and he can double peek with Nico. Manages to deploy a grenade, and he's still alive, but
wow.
Rain is annihilating everyone. Rain with the burst. 4K for him. And that's the round. What else can be said?
GODSENT are getting really wrecked right now. really, really badly wrecked. Even Dennis struggling to get on the scoreboard.
Yeah, well, Schneider in the last one, it's Dennis's turn this time. Rain's just deathmatching here. This is insane. Especially because Nico, if you remember, Nico got spammed down pretty low. He was at like red HP during all that fight, so it was like, he's just like, please, Rain, please save me. Get me out of this danger.
Carrigan's not been having much fun. Only 1 kill so far, just been chilling by the B-pop site. Nothing much happening over there.
He overperformed last map, now he's got to balance it out.
You know Kerrigan, he's got the biggest smile on his face right now.
Yeah. Here he goes. Here he goes. He's got himself Schneider's AK, and he's going to push all the way into the apps. All that juicy, juicy information. And that's hilarious. We heard 2 bullets and it sounded like a burst. But it's actually 2 players one-tapping someone at the same time.
That can't be real.
I think it was 2 players getting one-tapped at the same time.
On different parts of the map.
Yeah. Wait, what?
That'd be sick if we get a replay of each of those kills, right?
Be pretty nice.
Kerrigan's gonna go for the knife. What an absolute madman.
Oh, there it is. Talk about adding insult to injury.
Oh dear.
Surely it wasn't 2 one-taps.
I think Olofmeister was towards B at the time.
Well, one was a peek off Cat, one was towards A, wasn't it? It was A ramp and base of Cat, I think. I don't know. Regardless, a knife at this point in the game after the first map is just not necessary. It's just, come on now. Have some level of mercy.
That is BM right there. But I love it. Another mid smoke in the window. I mean, everyone uses jump scripts for them now, so it's really surprising to see so many missed. I still don't use the jump scripts.
Pretty wise. I think, people could ban them.
Well, no, they tried to ban them, but you can use 2 keys on the keyboard.
Yeah.
And do exactly
it's
the same thing.
You just press them at the same time.
Yeah, so it just makes it makes the ban utterly redundant. So people just gave up on it because it's like you can't. But, I'm an English gent. I can't
Play by
do
the
it.
rules,
Yeah, I just can't do it.
even when nobody's watching.
Absolutely.
Well, this is a really nice setup from FaZe. You can see Olofmeister's got a really passive position. Freddy B's basically baited into it. And so this has worked out really nicely. Look at all the control that FaZe have. Despite playing passively, all the information that they need. And Guardian in trouble, but maybe not. He's able to bail himself out with a pretty remarkable display of skill. Now it's just down to 2 HP, and he is not going to be able to do anything. 4K for Guardian as the B-bomb site will remain safe.
They're too good.
I don't know how Guardian survives that.
Yeah.
The adjustment when he's getting tagged up from catwalk and just adjusting to upper B, that's dirty. Look at the money as well. Like there's nothing positive for GODSENT going on. Especially when you think back to Inferno, like the player who was giving them opportunities and making things happen was Dennis, and he's got 0 kills. So even like they're shooting now every time.
Well, there's not much you can say about that. It's pretty amazing when you see FaZe, run into top mid to take the jewels, and there's like 3 of them there. You kind of expect that to be pretty successful for them.
How does Softland only have money for a smoke grenade?
He bought an AK in the previous round. He's the only guy to buy a rifle.
I'm thinking they've given up here. Part off. I think the buying is all out of sync. I think they're saying like one guy have an AK, see if you can create something. Please God. All right. Well, at least they have mid control. That's cool. They haven't lost anyone. Promising start in the round.
Good nades though back from FaZe, and you know that FaZe can often want to try and put the pressure back onto middle once you've taken it as a terrorist. So you can see GODSENT sort of sitting in middle, actually just waiting for an aggression back into that position. FaZe aren't really going for it there. They do have Olofmeister, I believe, in the window, keeping tabs on the situation. There he is. In a lot of trouble now, though. Just pushed out by the Molotov. That's a good play. And that's a great follow-up from Schneider as well.
How much more can he do? There is a player in the shadow position, and Schneider will take him out also. Will this be round number 1 for GODSENT? Kerrigan and CT taken out. Schneider looking for an ace. Rain on the ramp of A. Obviously, with $10,000 in the bank, he can try and do as much damage as possible. The round win is unlikely, but he can try to do what he can do. Just 1 kill. Freddy B will take the last. So, GODSENT are on the scoreboard, but what likelihood is there of a second round, a consecutive round?
I think we'll see FaZe challenge mid control more. I think they kind of that's I mean that's obviously we see how many times mid control can turn into something like that, but it didn't seem like FaZe really fought for it this time. They've been fighting for it for the majority of this half, so I think they'll go back and be a tad bit more aggressive. Whether it's oh, that's a sick shot. That's not an advisable fight for Nico. So yeah, this is the plan for mid. Is Olaf boost it up, maybe just get him one pick, and I think he wanted that to stop on catwalk.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, and it's gonna just blow up the play there for FaZe. Olafmeister retreating for the time being as GODSENT look to take over connector now as well. Guardian watching over the boost in through the window. GODSENT taking their sweet time in mid. Here it comes, Karrigan on the angle, and that's an easy kill for Schneider. Schneider with a 4K in the previous round. It felt like he pressed a button and it was time to win the round. He just walked out there and killed everyone. And this is looking similar for GODSENT.
Yeah, now that they're having some success finding that first pick, I mean it's kind of cool because they're just saying, all right, we know FaZe has a whole lot of playmakers. Like just hit the pause button, wait for them to make a play. Oh my god, if that was a double, that would have been insane. Would have immediately given a chance for FaZe.
I think he actually did hit him.
Yeah, he did, but he didn't get the kill.
That's a shame. Oh well. GODSENT will be quite happy that they're starting to find some success, as mentioned. So, I mean, these picks aren't really coming to them in a predictable or consistent way. That's really the only issue with it. But beyond that, it's good to at least be able to convert.
Well, the crazy thing is, as bad as this half has looked for GODSENT, is if they can win like one more, then you start getting FaZe finally to that low economy situation, and then you have a chance, despite everything that has happened so far in these, first map and in the opening stages of this half. You have a chance to get up to 5-10, which would be sweet.
Terrorists win.
Well, let's see if they can do that or if they can make their way towards that. Again, we have to see the quality that they're bringing to the round opening plays. Hopefully nothing from round 4, where GODSENT, had to throw 3 smokes to get mid smoked off.
I loved that. I wish we could have that more often.
I noted it down so that I can make sure
go back and watch it when you're having a bad day.
Yeah, exactly. Round 4. Round 4 of this game. A bit more aggression for mid from FaZe. Karrigan actually under some pressure as well.
Dodging bullets is Karrigan.
Okay. He's gonna push through that.
He's gone straight through, hasn't he? Oh my god. And just like that, everybody is dead.
Wow.
That's so sick. You saw like the decision in Karrigan's brain in the player model was just like, yep, I'm gonna go through that. I'm just gonna start sprinting because he obviously when his teammate gets the kill, he knows the attention is gonna be taken away, or he's taking that risk. He just wants to have the sandwich, the GODSENT sandwich.
No more snipers for GODSENT. This is a key round for them. Well, I mean both rounds are really. They need 2 from 2 here. The GODSENT side. Rain off to his usual trick. Great distraction while Nico comes in from connector. Leaving Schneider alone in a 1 versus 5. Getting peppered with all kinds of weapons. 3 AKs on the CT side won't be helpful for GODSENT in the last round of the first half.
That was like half a second away from having a lot of possibility of being a solid round from GODSENT, just because Rain just barely got into cover and got his gun out in time for when they executed, or when they started streaming out Palace. If it had been just a little bit earlier, which I don't even know if that was physically possible, it looked like they just ran the whole way. But just maybe more fortunate with the timing, and that would have been great.
Push up mid from Nico. Flashes all over the place though. He can't see a single thing, and it's behind him. He'll have to turn as Schneider will appear at a timely moment, and that's a player advantage for GODSENT. But weapons, I was about to say are with FaZe, but Twist still able to get the kill there in middle. Now creates an ample opportunity. They could recover that weapon as well. That's potentially problematic for FaZe. And with 3 players, how do they respond? There's no aggression anywhere, really. Holding positions. Have to hit shots. Down to Olafmeister now. Spot 1. It's going to be quick quick and clean. I'm not sure if it was quick and clean enough. And Twist is back at it again with the scout. So if they've done it, it's 3 rounds. That was their total score in the last map.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, it helped that they got some.
Is it though? Is it really?
At this point, it's
something.
Yeah, you just like to see. I like that they finally kind of started to get mid control after so much struggling with it. The one tough part is it seemed like they got that because that was like a stretch of the half where FaZe actually went pretty passive on their own defense in mid. Once FaZe got back towards the aggression, I mean the last round not so much, but you know some of that aggression at underpass, they kind of took it away.
It's a lot of grenades from FaZe. It's a lot of grenades.
You love to see it.
Yeah. They should be able to guarantee the bomb plant with so many grenades.
If they can take out Freddy B quickly, this should be a pistol round for them. Because they're going to have pretty much everything smoked off.
They've left CT open, so surely there'll be a push coming in there. But CT's gone down. Freddy's still alive, though. Running out of bullets. Oh, look, he's dancing. He's dancing!
No.
Wow!
Oh,
my god. Freddy with the ace. That's ridiculous.
How does he get... Wow, that's so nuts. He's got like 5 people shooting at him forever. Although, you know, granted, there was a lot of flashes going on here, and he gets 2 for free. But then the 1v3 here, very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, that's... The second kill he obviously gets on Palace blind. It's unfortunate because the one place I think FaZe didn't smoke was CT spawn, so that spawn player played enough of a distraction that they didn't actually check Freddy B, which is huge. That's awkward. You never like to see that.
Yeah, no mileage from that M4, which has been lost now. Schneider taking aggressive action, having lost a player early. Dennis trying to do the same, and there are 3 people in mid. He has support though, and there is a flank coming in, but the flank will be slow not to give the position away. There we are, Schneider with the MP9. That range is not spectacular for the MP9, neither is his health. So he will back off. And that's Nico versus 3, 2 of which can be 1-deeked. He just needs to find himself the right angle.
They can all be 1-deeked, James. They can all be 1-deeked. Nico's got himself the last one out. Just a bit of extra mileage from that.
3 kills is, I mean, that's not bad. Obviously, you'd like to plan on top of it, but you know, keeping the money low, keeping it from growing. Pretty good from FaZe, all things considered. And now I imagine they don't really invest in a whole lot for the next round by. Rain's having a 20 and 7. I think that's Nico at 13 and 6, and then Guardian at 17 kills. Yeah, Olaf at 13 as well. Yeah, Kerrigan's still just having a game.
He's chilling.
It's that curse of the B bomb site, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Madness in mids. And it's all over. The Glocks are dead. All the Glocks have been removed, at least.
The Glocks are dead.
And now it's time for the AKs. It's the time of the AK-47s. And the money utility to back it up with as well. This would be a pretty fun round for GODSENT to go for a push somewhere, and it's common enough that you would see CT team do that, so I'm curious if they'll go for something like that or if they'll play it passive. Looks pretty standard to start with. Smokes everywhere. Smoke onto Catwalk and a delayed top mid push from FaZe.
Yeah, I mean, they were thinking what you were thinking, Dan, is that this would be a cool round for GODSENT to get aggressive, and they're just waiting for it, so... Both teams opening up with pretty standard passive 4th rounds, not risking a whole lot on either side of things. And this is far less mid control as well from GODSENT.
Bomb rotating towards A, where there are already 2 players in tow, so the intentions are clear. You can see Rain can't see Schneider hiding in the corner at the moment, but Schneider's position may be compromised if the T start to make their way through the connector area. Maybe realizing what is inevitable, he has a peek and will land a headshot. And there's Freddy punishing these Ts on a distraction in the meantime. Schneider lands a kill on the Brain as well. So far, so good for GODSENT. Leaves Kerrigan alone versus 4. He needs to do as much damage as possible, but... Oh, he's still got the bomb, actually. And he's heard a footstep. Schneider being crab walking to victory.
There was some miscommunication that round from FaZe, because I think it's actually Rain's flashbang out of Palace that blinds his teammates coming up connector in a ramp. They were already up when he threw that flash, so I think that was just, like that one right there. I think that's the one that comes off Palace and just no one could respond. They were just blind for just long enough to not be able to respond to the player in jungle. No one could take out Schneider on balcony because of that, so a little unfortunate for them. Still up big, 12-7. Now we're going to get some of the mid-aggression. Dennis is going to push up. It looks like a run boost coming out. Oh, God. Awkward fight.
Yeah, to say the least. That's the bomb soon spotted as well. So that'll pull some players away from trying to make inroads towards the B-bomb site. So now the score is quite reasonable for GODSENT. Question is if they can win the first buy round. The next buy round be a very important one for them. Their money's in a good place, but there's still more work to be done.
Yeah, it is definitely closing up massively here. FaZe looking for that first round of success on the T side. Guardian on the orb. And will GODSENT go for any aggression? They've got 4 towards A at the moment. 2 players playing close to pit. FaZe playing it passively again. Looking to focus on building mid control there. 4 players attacking mid, 2 from the pass, 2 from top mid. Finding the timing there that the underpass players come a little bit earlier than the top mid players. And that's really annoying there. Really good effort from GODSENT. Taking down Nico towards pit. Alleviates the pressure there and now eliminates all presence apart from middle from FaZe.
Bomb needs to be retrieved in the B apartments. That may lead these T's into a split. Oh my god. Oh dear. And the bomb's been rescued, and there's 2 players coming in from short, so the T's have got a good position. Twist trying to make an effort though, trying to slow these players down. Schneider will be lost in the meantime. That's got to be frustrating. Close range AWPs. I'm not sure if there was a scope there, but Twist will not peek the angle. In the meantime, he's got Freddy B coming in from the apartment.
Yeah, Twist knows if he peeks too close to that left corridor, then he's going to show his gun around the corner as well. So Guardian with superior angles. Now pushing forward at the perfect timing there. Heard Twist make the shot towards the window. And that's his opportunity now. It's Freddy B's opportunity to get back in here. Olofmeister's weak. Guardian not so much though. And he will fall straight on top of Olofmeister, and that will be the end of him. And the round, first round on the T half for FaZe, actually working out. The money still decent for GODSENT.
It didn't look great, though, for some time, did it? The heroics from Guardian, that entry on Catwalk was incredible. Seems like GODSENT at this point is just like, no matter what happens, no one be scared to take any kind of fight. I mean, Schneider just being heavily aggressive on Nico on a ramp, and then there was one in the connector that peering over the smoke, so finding those fights, and I mean, now it seems like on the CT side, I mentioned this yesterday, the CT side is much, much stronger than their T sides, and they're looking a bit more proactive, like a bit more pep in their step.
Yeah, another early pickoff on Nico. Definitely goes quite far. It also alleviates a lot of tension on GODSENT, or rather, they don't have to consider making information plays as much now that they're a man ahead, so they can just play a simpler game with less decisions made aggressively.
Also, I mean, they still have to be honest about A, but, I mean, these past 2 rounds where they've gotten this kill on Nico, he's the only one at A, so they know there's no, or they don't feel any pressure at the A bomb sites. They're not calling for any kind of rotation. This is risky. That deserves to be punished.
Yeah, that's tough. And FaZe splitting B now. Trying to hold things down here. Really awkward for this good off that. Eventually gets taken out. Perhaps got a bit more damage than he should have done. So good effort on his part.
2 on 2, 40 seconds. The bomb is close enough to beat. But as time continues to tick, FaZe have to assume that the CTs will be in better positions. One has been spotted. Olofmeister will go for the default plant. Schneider doesn't find the angle in time, but he has found both players. The Guardian, of course, will clean house. already taken down. Then he'll trade for Olofmeister 14-8.
That was dicey, though. Olaf had to run the gauntlet to go get that bomb, while all the while Twist was in market with that AWP. Almost had the angle in time, and then the flank comes in just a second late as well. So a couple seconds here or there for the GODSENT guys, and that could have been a big 2v2 win. Regardless, that's the last really strong buy they had. They're I mean, as you can see, pretty much out of money. And now there's a whole host of people over here with Nico, and Schneider, he likes to get aggressive. He's had success the past 2 rounds, but eventually FaZe will learn.
Rain walking out there, seeing what he can find as he advances to sandwich and even further, even beyond the sandwich. It's going to be some assistance from Nico though to create some more space on the site. Rain finally finds his engagement, as does the rest of his teammates, for the round. 15 now for FaZe. They are 1 away from severe. Well, it's not actually as severe as the first map, but definitely if were it to be 16-8, that's a very convincing result again from FaZe.
It helps that GODSENT, obviously, they lost both pistols on Inferno. This time when you win pistol on CT side, you're at least giving yourself like a cushion. You start out on a positive note so you can actually rack up some rounds. And so it was nice that we actually got to see GODSENT on a CT side, because it was the stronger one yesterday. And even here on Mirage, it's being, you know, the stronger side for them as well. You can see they're doing a little bit better.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Guardian, oh! Entry in through connector with that Deagle, but still his teammates are doing some damage here. Although FaZe using cover of smokes to just create a lot of space on the bomb side for the plants. Looking pretty good here now for FaZe, especially when Nico's just starting to go ham on everyone.
Just styling. Yeah, that's a pretty solid win for FaZe, all things considered. 16-8, and it almost felt more dominating than that scoreline, which is kind of crazy to think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, that's